In a modest apartment in Barranquilla, Colombia, a 9-year-old girl with wild curls and restless energy stood on her bed, singing into a hairbrush and dreaming of stadiums. She wasn't just imitating pop stars, she was writing her own songs, blending Middle Eastern rhythms from her Lebanese father's heritage with the folk beats of her Colombian mother's coast. That girl was Shakira, and though she faced rejection for her unconventional voice and too ethnic look, she would grow into one of the most influential artists of the 21st century. A global superstar who broke language barriers, redefined Latin pop, and turned humanitarian work into a lifelong mission. Born on February 2, 1977, in Barranquilla, a vibrant port city known for its carnival and musical fusion, Shakira Isabel Mebarak Ripoll grew up at the crossroads of cultures. Her father, William Mebarak, was of Lebanese descent. Her mother, Nydia Ripoll, came from a Catalan-Colombian family. From an early age, she absorbed diverse sounds. Arabic oud melodies, Colombian cumbia, rock en español, and American pop. She began composing poetry at 4 and wrote her first song at 8. At 10, she performed at a local theater, catching the attention of Monica Ariza, a theater producer who became her mentor and introduced her to Sony Music Colombia. Her debut album, Major, 1991, released when she was just 13, was a commercial flop. Critics called her voice too nasal, her image unpolished. Undeterred, she returned 2 years later with Peligro, which fared slightly better, but still failed to ignite mainstream success. Rather than conform, she doubled down on authenticity. She studied dance, learned to play guitar, and immersed herself in rock and poetry, influences that would shape her breakthrough. That breakthrough came in 1995 with Pais Descalzos, Bare Feet. Fusing rock guitars with Latin percussion and socially conscious lyrics about poverty, self-worth, and youth disillusionment, the album resonated across Latin America. Hits like Estoy Ac and DNDE Ist's Corazon dominated charts, and she toured tirelessly, often performing in schools and underserved communities. For the first time, a young Latina artist spoke not just of love, but of identity, struggle, and resilience, and millions saw themselves in her words. Her global explosion arrived with Laundry Service, 2001. After years of resisting English-language crossover attempts, she finally recorded an album in English, but on her terms. She co-wrote every track, blending reggae, rock, pop, and Middle Eastern scales into a sound that defied categorization. Lead single Whenever, Wherever, with its Andean flutes, belly dance rhythms, and iconic hip-shaking choreography, became a worldwide phenomenon. It topped charts in over 30 countries, made her the first South American artist to reach No. 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 with a debut English single, and introduced her signature blend of sensuality and strength to a global audience. What set Shakira apart wasn't just music, it was movement. Her performances featured rapid-fire hip isolations rooted in traditional Lebanese belly dance, a style rarely seen in Western pop. Critics called it revolutionary, fans called it liberating. She didn't perform for male gaze, she owned her body as an instrument of expression. This confidence extended to her songwriting. She sang about desire, heartbreak, and empowerment with poetic honesty, never reducing herself to kitsch. Over the next 2 decades, she released era-defining hits. Hips Don't Lie, a collaboration with Wyclef Jean that became one of the best-selling singles of all time, Beautiful Liar with Beyonce, Waka Waka, This Time for Africa, the official anthem of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, watched by over 750 million people, and Chantage with Maluma, which revitalized her Latin roots. She won 3 Grammy Awards, 14 Latin Grammys, and sold over 80 million records worldwide, becoming the best-selling female Latin artist in history. Yet her legacy extends far beyond charts. In 1997, after witnessing poverty in her hometown, she founded the Barefoot Foundation, Fundación Pais Descalzos, dedicated to providing quality education to vulnerable children in Colombia. What began as a small initiative grew into a national force, building schools, training teachers, and advocating for educational equity. To date, the foundation has impacted over 100,000 children, even operating in conflict zones where state services are absent. She took her advocacy global in 2010, when UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon appointed her a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. She traveled to Bangladesh, Haiti, and Kenya, meeting displaced children and lobbying world leaders for early childhood development funding. In 2016, she co-founded ALAS, Latin American Alliance for Early Childhood, uniting celebrities, governments, and NGOs to prioritize the first 5 years of life across the region. She doesn't just donate money, she testifies before parliaments, designs curricula, and visits classrooms personally. Her personal life, often scrutinized by media, reflects her values. After a high-profile relationship with Spanish singer Alejandro Sanz, she spent over a decade with soccer star Gerard Piqué, with whom she has 2 sons. Though they separated in 2022, she maintained privacy, refusing to dramatize their split or exploit it for publicity. She lives between Miami, Barcelona, and Barranquilla, grounding her global life in family and cultural roots. Artistically, she continues to evolve. Her 2024 album Las Mujeres No Lloran, Women No Longer Cry, marked a powerful return after years of personal upheaval, blending reggaeton, rock, and ballads into a testament of healing and feminine strength. Singles like Bizarrap Music Sessions, Vol. 53 with Argentine producer Bizarrap shattered records, becoming the most streamed Latin track by a female artist in Spotify history, proof that at 47, she remains culturally vital. What makes Shakira enduring is her refusal to be boxed. She is Arab and Latina, rocker and pop diva, performer and policymaker, global icon and local advocate. She sings in Spanish, English, Portuguese, and Arabic phrases, not for marketability, but because her identity is multilingual. She dances not to please, but to connect, hips as heartbeat, voice as bridge. In an industry obsessed with youth and trends, she has stayed relevant not by chasing fame, but by staying true to her sound, her message, and her mission. She proved that a girl from Barranquilla could shake the world, not just with her hips, but with her heart. And in doing so, she didn't just break records, she built schools, changed policies, and showed millions that art and activism can flow from the same soul.